Hi everyone, Stephanie with Mama Bear Ink. Welcome back for another card making video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Before I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I still bought Stampin' Up! Stamps and supplies and that type of thing, but it always made me a little bit sad that when the next group of products came out, the ones that I'd already collected kind of went away. And so I am going to be doing Throwback Thursday on my YouTube channel here, which means that I'm going to be taking an older stamp set and doing a card video with it. And this time around, I'm going to be using last fall's stamp set called Fall Fest, and there was coordinating framelits called Fun Fall Framelits, and we are going to be making this fall card. It says give thanks, and that little sentiment is from And Many More, which is still available in our annual catalog right now. But we're going to be making this fall Thanksgiving card today using, since we're doing throwback, we are going to be using the 2014 to 2016 in color inks that came out last fall, about the same time that this stamp set did. So let's dive in and get started with our card. Our card base is going to be done in Mossy Meadow, and this is cut 11 by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. So we're just going to fold this over, and we'll have a standard A2 top folding card, which fits perfectly inside Stampin' Up's medium-sized envelopes. All right, the next layer of our card is this fun patterned paper, and this is the pattern paper pack that came out last fall, and it is called Color Me Autumn Designer Series paper. It is retired now, it's no longer available, but this is Throwback Thursday, so we're using stuff from last year. We're going to use this as our layer, so this is cut to 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and then we are going to use a layer of Whisper White on top of that. Now, this is cut a little bit differently, and let me see if I can figure this out in my head. So it would be 5 by 3 3/4, but I took 1/8 of an inch off those measurements because I wanted more of the pattern paper to show. Okay, so 5 by 3 3/4 minus 1/8 on each measurement. And I wish I could do all that math in my head, but I can't do all that math in my head. All right, so next what we need is a 1-inch strip of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So it should be 1 inch wide. It doesn't really matter how long it is because it's just going to go across the front of the white part, and we'll cut it off so that it's flush. And then we need a 3/4 inch wide, and just make sure that it's longer than your white piece. 3/4 inch wide piece of Whisper White, and this is where we're going to stamp our sentiment. So those are the pieces that we need, along with 1 small scrap of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, actually I should bring this right back because we need it. The first thing that we're going to do is stamp our little pumpkin that's going to be popped up on the front of the card. And the way that I do that, I'm using this pumpkin from the Fall Fest stamp set, and we're going to use Tangelo Twist ink. Okay, and we are also going to be using, these are the in color markers from the 2014 to 2016 set, and so these are available still in our annual catalog, so you can pick them up if you don't have them. And we're going to be using the Mossy Meadow marker. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is ink up our pumpkin in the, what is this? Tangelo Twist, yes, that's what I'm using. Okay, so we've got it good and inked. Now we need a little towel or a baby wipe or something like that, and we're going to take the ink off the stem of the pumpkin. Okay, so just carefully wipe the ink away. We're going to take our marker and the brush end of our marker, and we're going to color that stem in Mossy Meadow. And just color it up real nice. There we go. And just in case some of that orange has dried, we're going to go, we're going to huff on it to reactivate that ink and stamp it down. Just give it a second or two for that ink to transfer, and there we go. We have our 2 colors on our pumpkin. Okay, and so what we're going to do at this point is to get out our fun fall framelits, and there is a die for this pumpkin right here, and so we're just going to cut our pumpkin out using our Big Shot. And just for the sake of time, because my videos tend to get really long. Oh my goodness, I can't pick it up. My videos tend to get really long if I'm using Big Shot and all this other stuff. So just for the sake of time, I've already cut out our little pumpkin. So that part is good to go. Now the next thing that we need to do is stamp our sentiment on our on our strip of Whisper White. And so I've got the Give Thanks here mounted up on a G-sized Stampin' Up! Acrylic block. You know, I have to, while I'm getting the ink out, because we're going to stamp this in, oh my goodness, I didn't get the right ink out. We're going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss. But while I'm doing this, I want to talk to you a little bit about these Stampin' Up! Acrylic blocks. I was kind of one of those people who didn't think there was much difference between acrylic blocks, but I will tell you that there is. These blocks are extremely nice. Okay, we're going to ink that up in Blackberry Bliss and stamp it down nice and straight, and there is our Give Thanks. So we've got that all set. I will tell you, I'm sorry, I was talking. I will tell you that there is a big difference in acrylic blocks, and Stampin' Ups are extremely thick. Let me see, let me get one out here. Okay, this is the H block, and you can see they're extremely thick. You've got plenty of room to hold on. They're very clear, and they come in a big, huge variety of sizes. So you can mount pretty much any Stampin' Up! Stamp that, I mean, any stamp that they manufacture, there's a block for. And it tells you in the catalogs which blocks they recommend for the stamps that you're buying. And I would highly recommend, if you don't have a bunch of blocks or if you've never tried these before, to start collecting these because they are excellent, excellent blocks. Okay, I'm done talking about acrylic blocks now. Okay, so we've got our Give Thanks stamped on our little white strip. Now we are going to work on our top panel for the card. And this is where we are going to be stamping all of our little leaves. And our leaves, of course, are from the Fall Fest stamp set. So we're going to be using these 3 smaller leaves here. And we're going to be stamping them in the Tangelo Twist, Hello Honey, and Lost Lagoon colors. Okay? And so I'm going to start with my biggest image, and that's this little oak leaf here. And we're going to stamp this in Hello Honey. And the way I'm doing it is that I'm going to kind of do it diagonally across the card like this. And so let's get started here. We've got, okay, I'm going to stamp it. You know, I like to stamp in 3s, so I'm going to stamp it 3 times. So there is once, and turn it a little bit, and there is twice. Woo! Don't rock the block. All right, and we're going to just come down here and stamp it just a little. We'll stamp it off the edge just like that. All right, so we have our big, see how clean that is? Okay, I'll stop. I won't talk any more about the Stampin' Scrub, I promise. All right, we're done with Hello Honey. And let's go ahead and break out the Lost Lagoon ink. And we're going to bring in our little aspen leaf looking guy. And so we're going to stamp him 3 times as well. So we'll start up here, stamp him once, and come kind of right here in the center and stamp him again. And then we're going to put him right down here in the corner like so. So we've done our Lost Lagoon. And our last color with our smallest leaf is going to be the Tangelo Twist again. And that's this little guy. I think it's supposed to be kind of a stylized maple, I guess. And so we're going to stamp him 3 times as well. So we'll stamp him kind of right here, going off the paper, and in this little cluster right here, and then again right about there. That looks good. Oh, look, I've got smudgies. Okay, I will show you how I fix those smudgies when we kind of get to the end here. All right, so we are done with our Tangelo Twist ink. So we've got our leaves stamped. We've got our little pumpkin got buried here. Okay, so let's begin assembly, shall we? So we need to put our white strip on top of our blackberry bliss strip. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. All right, and for that we are going to use some snail adhesive, and we're just going to run a line of it down the back there, and then we will put it down and just try to get it centered from top to bottom, left to right, of course, doesn't matter. All right, because that's going to go right there. So we will get some, woohoo, yeah. You have to hold it right side up and it works a lot better. See these little ridgy things right here? That's kind of where your finger should go when you're running the tape. So that'll give you an idea of what right side up is, because I apparently am having difficulty with that today. All right, and I'm going to use my grid paper to make sure that I get the little strip straight across here. And just put it down like so. All right, and we are going to take a pair of scissors and just trim this off at the edges of the white so that it is flush with the edge of that panel. And there we have it. Now we're going to take our little pumpkin, and he's going to go right there on the side. So to put him down, we'll get some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to put a couple on the back of him. Oh, these are having a hard time coming apart for some reason. So I'll take the backs off these, and we're going to put him down right about there. Okay, now then, we are going to take our panel of designer paper and attach this decorated panel to the designer paper panel. Okay, and we're going to try to center it up nicely. Okay, well, not completely perfect, but not completely awful. All right, and so now, before we do anything else, we are going to break out our Uniball Signo white gel pen. And this is also available in Stampin' Up's annual catalog now. And we see this little smudgy right here? This is like white out. Little smudgy is gone. And hopefully no one will look close enough to know that you've got some white out on the card. So we just need to give that a second to dry. Meanwhile, the way that I achieved the lift on this card while making sure I had a solid flat surface that will go through the mail much better than a ton of dimensionals on the back, is I use a piece of fun foam. This is called Fun Foam, Craft Foam. It's available extremely inexpensively at your local craft store. And I just cut this down to fit behind this panel with a little bit of rim so that the vast majority of it would be a nice flat surface. And so we are going to, for this, we're going to use Fast Fuse because it is a stronger hold. And Fun Foam is not, you know, it's not your average surface. So you want to use a bit of a stronger adhesive when doing this, and Fast Fuse is a nice, strong adhesive. I actually had never tried it before I became a demonstrator, and now I don't know that I would use anything else to as a really strong hold tape runner. All right, so we've got our fun foam on the back there. I'm going to bring in our card base, and we're going to attach it to the front of our card base. And I think I'm just going to put the fast fuse down on the front of the card, and then we'll get this lined up. If my head's in the picture, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to put that down there, and that is going to finish our card today. Now, of course, because we have a dark card base, you can cut another panel of Whisper White to put on the inside. You can decorate it. You can leave it absolutely plain, completely up to you. But this is just kind of a fun throwback card. Gives you a chance to use some of your older stamp sets that you have collected. This one from last season. And some of the framelits to go along with them. This one actually has some really fun ones. I mean, there's framelits for all of the different leaves, but there's also this little ghosty and a couple more pumpkins. So this was a really fun stamp set. And of course, the And Many More stamp set covers just about every special day out of the year. From Best Dad Ever to Happy Birthday to Happy Halloween. So this is a great stamp set to own as well. And it is currently available in our annual catalog right at this moment. So that all being said, thank you very much for coming and spending some time with me today. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care.